Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. Hopefully the frame rate issues will adjust themselves as we get in game. This replay is around the 1600 ELO range, League of Legends of course. We have Brand, Poppy, Lux, Aurelia, and Maokai being played by ActRaiser the Pope. Stallinpuss, Alio, and Realmen play on 10. I believe they are going to be the blue team. They're going up against Ezreal, which contains Riot, Travis, Gotez, which is the reason I'm doing this replay. Vladimir first, as a result. I have a lot of the replays working with Vladimir, Amumu, Katarina, and Sona, with iLife, Vendrio, Animus, and Soars fielding them. So I assume the composition we're going to see is we're going to see Amumu go tank. Vladimir is always pretty tanky. He does have an Ignite. Such an annoying character. Katarina going mostly attack damage. Sona with support / AD. Ezreal could go either direction, although probably attack damage. Brand covering the mage burst damage. He's just, when I think of Brand, I really think of the Ignite spell incarnate is really comes down to, and actually a lot of Ignites on both sides. Interestingly, no clairvoyance on blue team thus far, though. Poppy off mage tank and can do some burst damage. Can also go AP, but is very tanky as well, just by nature, because of the ultimate and whatnot. Lux probably filling in the AD. Aurelia, I assume, going to be filling in the physical AD aspect, and Maokai, who's just a great tanky everything as well. So, yeah, it looks like we are going to have the blue perspective and the blue team flat out. We'll see what they decide to start with. Then the big call, OMG, works for Riot. There is a clairvoyance to stop. Catching a little bit of Stallinpuss. Not sure if I got a good look at the item count. And again, this is from LoL replays. So, and actually it's improved quite a bit. So I can actually click on the players and see what they've grabbed thus far. Maybe I have to wait until they see what they grabbed. But anyway, hitting tab does nothing for me. So I can only, it's kind of pseudo information. This isn't perfect, but it's what I got, so I'm going to work with it. So the Pope opening up with a Dorn shield to get some additional health. She's going to be holding top lane. We do have Brand being a standard AP caster, going to cover the middle with the Dorn's ring to get that AP boost. Alio going regrowth pendant to be a little bit more tanky and get that additional health. And Stallinpuss, yeah, sitting at the turret. Interestingly, no jungle on this team. Perhaps Maokai will change that. Maokai actually opening up with a Sapphire Crystal on this corner. A little bit of engagement to the north, and Pope needs to be very careful. 2-on-1, particularly with Amumu right there. Amumu might have gotten an early kill even right there. Vlad Amumu combination on the north lane for Aurelia and Maokai to face off against. Could be tough. Amumu has a really strong stun, but you do have those, yeah, the nice saps that can deny some of that coverage in the turret. Keep in mind, Vlad still very, very tanky, has that nice ranged health drain. Minions spawning again. And again, I don't think either team has actually gone with a jungler. A little bit surprised at this level. Expending a couple saps. Does have plenty of mana to do it with, that Sapphire Crystal. Fun little dance there in the middle. Okay, engagement in the middle. Things getting underway. Looks like we, yeah, it looks like we just have the Vlad, and actually Vlad and Amumu being pushed back by the constant saps. Very scared of them and their high damage output. Travis is going to be holding in the middle. He has actually opened up with a Dorn's Blade. So he's probably, and I'm surprised he's not auto-attacking more. Maybe we'll see him auto-attack a little bit more if he gets some more damage accumulated on him. And we do have the Sona-Katarina combination, which could be really difficult to deal with on the south lane. And I think this is actually, this could end up being the critical lane here. Makey Penchant on Sona to get some of the, and that's, oof, look how much damage burst early. Lux and those stuns are going to be critical in this lane to both maintain a little bit of map, or a little bit of lane control, as well as just getting those last hits. And you can see they're playing way back, and they do not want to be overly aggressive at any degree there. Amumu, interestingly, taking a lot of damage. The Pope pressing forward. Maokai doing a fantastic job of doing some damage as well. And it looks like, yeah, taking a lot of damage to the superior range of Aurelia and ActRaiser with those saps. Ooh, nice sap behind. Is he going to get out of range? Looks like it. Still taking a bit of damage there. Brand in the center doing a fairly good job there against Riot Gomez. Is already at half health and needs to resort to a bit to auto-attacking, which is, ooh, warping in, going for the damage, getting the Ignite, and wow, nice kill. But is he going to die? No, still survives with a bar of health left. That's kind of the difficulty of LoL replays. I can't tell who has enough health on the opposite lane. Here it's showing up, but I don't know what ActRaiser and the Pope have equivalently as far as health. And Amumu out of mana. and needs to be careful pulling back. And it looks like we did have a kill on Sona bottom lane. Nice pickoff, and I assume there was an ignite involved somewhere in there. I think one of these guys has ignite, maybe not. Poppy able to get the kill there, I think. Actually, I can hit tab. Nice. Wow. This is new. Yeah, Poppy with an ignite. I assume Lux got on a stun right there. It's hard to catch sometimes. Wish I had a rewind option. Fortunately, I do not. Looks like a still, yeah, Katarina trying to stick in lane. Needs to be somewhat careful because it is squish factor now. That is a big minion push. ActRaiser doing a fantastic job of pushing swords all the way back to the tower, and Animus really backed off on this lane. It's taken a lot of damage, still very, very low on the health, and I think I get drawn back there every single time there's that respawn. Realman, though, the carry, giving first blood to Ezreal, and this is the critical mid lane, so I'm still going to give a significant advantage early. Animus getting a little bit too far forward, very aggressive. Soars having to blood pool out of it, and that is the problem with Vlad. Okay, now getting a good look at the top. Soars a little bit low on damage. ActRaiser taking damage, and actually Aurelia in a bit of trouble perhaps too. Is going to escape and very intelligently backing off from that attack. Might have gotten a Mumu, but would have paid for it in a death to Vlad. And the fewer deaths, the fewer kills you give to Vlad, the better, in my opinion. Just period, even on those even trades. Katarina actually in Sona having some trouble on the south lane, which surprises me quite a bit. It looks like Ezreal is actually eating up a lot of kills. Katarina doing fairly well on the kill count as well. But the bush hiding, okay, there's a ward right there. Oh, catching and actually pinning Katarina to the wall. Might get a kill here. Sneaking in, down half health, and they can't absorb a lot more of that. Ooh, hurt a lot. And it doesn't look like there's a health potion. Yeah, just going to have to sit on the Doran's blade. And still pressing very aggressively forward, which shocks me, honestly. I'm just going to allow, I guess, Sona to do the heal backs. And Elio being clairvoyant and eating some minion damage. Playing a little bit too far on that top lane, perhaps. Meantime, it looks like Ezreal just really crushing this middle lane. Has actually gone up to a long sword. Also has his boots up and running. Has a handful of potions as well. Real Men play on 10, still sticking to his Doran's blade and saving cash. Otherwise, he is going to have a bit of a movement disadvantage, particularly against Ezreal. And Ezreal, very mobile, period, keep in mind. Can hop around like a maniac. ActRaiser, and just they've done a fantastic job on this top turret of just press back. Ooh, lucky that... lucky a little bit there that Amumu did not get killed there on that teleport. I think that was Amumu, might have been Vlad. Bottom lane actually going much more favorably for Poppy and Lux than I had predicted, so must be landing the stuns rather well and doing a pretty good job overall. That missed it there. Vlad actually pressing forward. Oh, but it's going to get a gank otherwise. It is 3-on-1. There's the ignite. Pope not going to be able to escape, especially with Amumu right there. Ooh. Mumu perhaps on cooldown right there, and that is actually opening up magic resist to deal against the brand or any sort of AP opening. And the opposite end, I'm not seeing a huge AP dedication thus far, at least. It is very early as far as the... But perhaps to deal with Lux and Poppy, who are perhaps going to be AP based as well as brand, so perhaps a more AP heavy team. Nice stun! Are they going to get the kill? Pressing up! Sona able to pull them out with some heals. Still really doing a fantastic job on this lane, I have to say, overall, and still continuing to press it forward. Sona low on mana, very dangerous situation, but Katarina close to level 6. Whenever you hit that level 6, a very scary situation, period. Katarina, one of the stronger ults in the match, especially if you get stuck in it. There is somewhat of a push on that top lane after that large gank. Brand, I'm not sure if they called the MIA. Ooh, ActRaiser pushing in, just pounding away at Amumu. Tank on tank action, level 6. 4, and I'm not sure we're seeing it on ActRaiser, and there on the south lane, and ignite. Katarina is going to get through with a heal. Poppy getting perhaps too aggressive, missed it. Brand not calling the MIA again, and I think Ezreal is perhaps thinking about pushing north to go for a gank, because it looks like they are sitting here, and I'm still not seeing Ezreal mid. It is possible he went back to buy, or perhaps took some damage here in the meantime, but I'm looking for a gank here top lane. Brand continuing to press forward. He's going to try to damage this turret as best he can in the meantime, and again, Law Replay doesn't let me see how much damage, and still waiting for the official replay system from Riot, so I'm doing the best I can with what I've got in the meantime. Mumu charging forward. There's Ezreal actually back middle lane, eating a lot of damage. Ooh, taking an ignite as well, and an ult. Actually an expended ult and no kill. Actually blue buff, that's where Ezreal was. In the meantime, level 7. about right here, 5 kills versus 2. So it looks like Team Red is significantly ahead, and a lot of those kills belong to Ezreal, which is not the person you want to have. You don't want to have their direct carry with those kill advantage. Still, this top lane doing really well pressing against this. Looks like a Mumu. Well, they're clearing clearing well. Actually, if I click on the units, I can actually see their health, about half health. Really, a swinging around wants to go for a kill here on either player. Vlad, not the one they want to focus, so they are going to have to work on, because he can just blood pool out of it. Actraiser alone, having to ghost out, perhaps bad coordination. Aurelia coming from behind. He did force an expansion there, but pressing through. Nice ignite, gets the kill. Good swing around. Still has to deal with the Mumu and trying to tank through it. A Mumu swing back around, getting a quick kill to stop the, I'm not sure what to call those. The hatchlings? The spawns? Those little... Yes, I'll just call them the mini Maokais that do tons of damage and heat sink everything. We are in the level 6 area across the board, so a lot of ults. Riot Gomez is pretty well fed, actually. He's at 51 minion kills already. Has a Brutalizer. He is, it looks like, dedicating towards just flat attack damage. Also getting a lot of Doran's Blades. Amumu having trouble holding this top lane. The Pope is actually going to use this opportunity to back off Amumu. Low on mana, and still... Ooh, Pope... Actually taking the opportunity to sneak forward, has enough mana to do some damage. But Ezreal right there. Pope in dangerous territory here. Let's see if she's going to be able to skip out of it. Eating some damage here and there. And actually being driven all the way back to the turret. Some minions trailing. And able to get that last second kill. Nice on Travis. And nice execution as well. In the south lane, looks like just barely getting out. Wow, Poppy with a good shield. Picking off Sona. And Lux giving the shield to continue. But Brand now sneaking up on Katarina. Missing one hit. Hitting the second with an ult. That should do it. Still sneaking across. Katarina swinging around. Getting a kill. Never mind. Nice kill. There's the ignite. So getting one before the death. Nice swing around pick off. Top lane being hammered by Soars and Ezreal. Maokai there to try to prevent some of this damage. And this is the first time I've actually seen this turret back, but mid lane is being pressed in the meantime. And if Brand swings back up there, this is an open and free lane. Aurelia, also a dangerous person to have swinging up. Vlad is still somewhat, and actually 2 characters out of the lane. Vlad is harder to pick off, particularly when he's wearing that blue jacket. Very durable, but he's very low on level and has been denied a lot of XP to this stage. Really nice in map control, particularly against a character like Vlad. Vlad swinging around, wants to engage wholesale with these minions. Not able to do so, and now it's actually a 2v1 situation perhaps with Aurelia moving to the north. iLife's bottom turret, and actually I can check the turret health. Actually, maybe not. I guess they have to look at him first so I can get a full view of the turret health. Amumu running down, checking the bushes. Nice pick off! It looks like it's going to be a dangerous situation with the Pope. Trying to concentrate on Ezreal. Actraiser moving up to provide some support, having difficulty. Nice stun from Amumu, and now Vlad swinging around as well to get in the action. This is very bad situation for the north lane. 3 kills. Actraiser does manage to take out Ezreal, but not before being taken out as well. 6-9, still a lead. Real men play on 10, still trying to push that mid lane. This top turret is just open for the picking with some minion pushes. Bottom lane, 2-on-1 situation. Poppy eating a lot of damage. Actually had to pull off. Is swinging around from the north, so it is possible pick off. But this is a very difficult lane, because who do you choose? Do you go for Katarina? Actually, it looks like you're just going to play open forward. Katarina does so much damage if you ignore her. And then you have Sona, who can just keep buffing Katarina, keeping her alive. So it's like darned if you do, darned if you don't sort of situation. Mumu just tanking some of these minions to the south so that Vlad can pound away at that turret to the north, is able to take out that first turret and get the first blood on the turrets, if you will. Brand trying to swing around, do as much damage on the center turret as well to at least make it a turret trade situation. South lane, it looks like Sona was picked off. Katarina swinging around, wants a kill still. Not able to get it. Looks like Poppy able to sneak through. Nice stun. And Katarina getting a little bit too aggressive. Is stunned, taking some damage from Lux. And let's see if Poppy swings around and goes for a kill. Yes, taking a little bit of damage. Katarina has a bit too much health, and that mid turret still does stand. I assume it's a little bit low on health. Brand eating heads up against Gomez, does have a stun. Gomez easily able to press through, though. Aurelia standing nearby, has the blue buff, perhaps wanting to sneak an attack. Top is missing. Keep in mind there's 2 free roaming characters at this stage that could be popping out anywhere. Bottom lane, perhaps. And there was a clairvoyance right there. It looks like Stalinpuss is going to retreat, very low on health. Nice! Poppy sneaking through with yet another kill. And Poppy is on fire thus far, really doing a fantastic job in what I consider a very difficult lane. Is probably going to get picked off here. Trying to go for an end around. Ezreal actually a little bit low on health. Brand coming up to try to support. Missed there. Poppy still dancing, and Brandon to support, and this might be a turnaround kill situation. Does pick off, wow, nice turnaround movement, and it is now evened up. Brand might even be able to pick off Sona. Not enough, stun not in place, not enough damage otherwise. And so suddenly it looks like the blue team has actually caught up after being behind. Nice turnaround, nice team coordination right there, and really Poppy thus far a hero in this match. Very impressive play. Up to Philosopher's Stone, perhaps going to go up to the Revelry and fill in a little bit more of that tank sort of arena. Maokai popping ult, trying to work down that turret, while Amumu is just sitting there pounding on him. Starting to move his way back. It looks like he has actually opened up with a Catalyst. A lot of AP options from there. Aurelia is just gone straight damage as well. Avarice, but ooh, nice hop in. One kill there. ActRaiser, is he going to get picked off as well? Amumu very close by, now backing off. Vlad sneaking in, wants to turret dive, and is this going to be it? Sneaking through with the pool. ActRaiser, a bit of damage. Oh my goodness. And Soar is suiciding into the turret. ActRaiser stays alive. And that shows you why it's difficult to dive against Maokai. He just has so much health and can output a lot of damage. 2 versus 1 on the bottom lane. Hexblade, Hextech Revolver, interestingly, for Katarina. I guess it's true. She has switched over to... I keep forgetting that she can switch over to an AP role these days. Too used to AD Katarina flat. Sona also has her mana regen item is going for more pure support option, at least early. Lux doing what she can to prevent that, keep it back. Poppy is moving up, but it is now 3-on-1 with a very well upgraded Ezreal with blue buff. Has actually gone Berserker Greaves. Interesting choice to get that increased attack damage over the Merc Treads. Maokai trying to sweep around. He is actually going for straight AP build. Actually a lot of AP on this opposite side. And now is it a 4-on-3 situation. They are being backed off. It looks like Brand right on top of it, getting a nice burst right there. Sona getting crushed. And there's the ult, pinned to the wall, stunned out of it, dead. 2 kills on the southern lane. It looks like there's a call to swing back to mid, perhaps get Dragon, maybe even push mid lane. Aurelia is there. She is heading south. Ezreal could be in dangerous territory, particularly with Aurelia nearby. ActRaiser hiding in the corner, dropping, oh, pinning, nice, gets a kill. Eating turret fire, but he can just tank it. Nice. Really well played. Vlad trying to farm on that top lane while he can, while all the rest of the unit, and this is a very safe farm, while everyone else is dealing with Dragon and on that 6 o'clock location. He's probably not going to be able to take out that turret, but do what you can while you can. Amumu taking a little bit of a heads-up fight against Aurelia, and that is not a great situation at this stage with just a Brutalizer and Avarice Blade against what is the pure tank with some with that Chain Vest. Trying to sneak up, getting pinned, and now a 5-on-1 situation. I'm not sure what Amumu is doing there. Too far away from his team, gets picked off. Oof. Perhaps didn't realize that the entire team was located there. Sona moving up, or perhaps just a little bit discoordinated. And ActRaiser just diving in, pounding away, doing a lot of damage. The rest of the calling B, because they're just getting a little bit too aggressive there. And Vlad now in a dangerous situation where he's getting flanked entirely in the mid, and he is way away from his turret. Yeah, this should be an insta-cool, trying to pull out of it, but now he's trapped between the entire team, killed, and now a sizable lead for the blue team, 15-10, 1-1 and 5. And I gotta say, not looking good thus far. Katarina still looks like actually getting a minion push south lane. Looks like another minion push swinging back to mid lane, but that turret is missing. Maokai trying to swing back around before this turret takes significant damage. 3 characters to the south. They've actually had some really good team movement. ActRaiser, I think he stole that blue buff rather than getting it himself. I'm not sure who he got it from, but again, Poppy doing fantastic. Now has Sheen, making her even more dangerous with that AP edge to her, where she can do that initial damage and then follow up with a really hard hit. Brand has his own Hextech Revolver. He's actually working Amplifying Tone with that Blasting Wand to a... actually, I wonder if I can hit the... I'm trying to remember what that exactly... what he's going to here. Bear with me. I'm wondering if he's going Lichbane here as Brand. It's possible he's going that, or he could just be going for a combination... Riley's, and I'll be curious to see what it actually becomes down the line. Brain farting momentarily while that action's happening. Bottom turret is now taken care of. Leo, ooh, getting caught in this Poppy ghosting out. Nice, popping the ult. on Katarina. Katarina is lagging very slowly behind, actually gone Sork Shoes, which makes her slow and having difficulty actually sneaking up and doing a lot of damage. And I'm waiting for and what's interesting about this is a Mumu-Katarina combination is really going to be key, is that group ult plus Katarina's ult on top of it. And thus far, I haven't seen a lot of it in any of these team fights. And I really, ooh, nice. Wow, Sona just getting picked off left and right. And she's having a hard life. And Sona, on the opposite side, yeah, 0, 5, and 1. Really the feeder, and there is a Soul Stealer from, and that's an interesting choice for Vlad too. Vlad not doing all that well this far. 1, 4, and 1 going with a Regrowth Pendant and a Meiji Soul Stealer to start. I'm not sure if I agree with that sort of decision making at this stage, particularly when he's going to have to get most of his kills from assists, the way things are looking thus far, especially because he's started off underleveled, he's been underleveled through this mid stage. I don't know, we'll see. Big engagement in the middle, Aurelia getting blue buff, trying to get blue buff. 4-on-1 in the meantime. Stolenpuss could be in a lot of trouble. The troops trying to muster and come up. Mumu can actually just focus fire that turret, and that turret should be taken out, and then Lux is going to be in a bit of trouble. But Lux doing a good job of fighting back this attack. Poppy dodging north, actually doing significant damage to Mumu despite the early cloak. He is following it up with a Heart of Gold. Get some of that additional cash. Swing to the north. Pope somewhat separated. No, actually it looks like they swing back around. Maybe a little bit separated to the north. Looking for a nice target to pick off. Does not want to focus Mumu. Probably wants to try to sneak that Sonya. And this is where I'm waiting for that, again, the swing in, the ult, and then Katarina to follow it up after a nice large group stun. That will be where Aurelia swinging around will be a significant factor. Pope sneaking in. This is where Aurelia is so golden. She can just dive in, do a lot of damage. Has revealed she is to the north. Sona trying to box her out a little bit and just gathering them around that turret while a minion push gathers to the north. There is a counter minion push to the south, so that bottom turret is somewhat at risk. Engagement, and this is great. Maokai, as long as they're going to engage like this, Maokai can continually just throw out these roots. Now engaging, there's the ult. Still no Katarina ult, though, to follow it up. And Actraiser able to take out that turret, grouping up Katarina, now wiped out. And I was waiting for the Katarina jump on that stun, not happening though. The Pope able to sneak out of that attack as well. Looks like Poppy gonna try to focus that Sonya. That Sona being pressed out of battle. The Pope survives. 4-on-1. Poppy getting too aggressive, trying to chase that Sona. Did get an ignite. Does get the kill to follow up, so it's worth it. But still, Vlad with 0 stacks. The Pope still sticking in this, very aggressive. Perhaps I'm not seeing... Yeah, that was kind of suicidal. I'm not sure what was up with that. And handing over 2 stacks. Stolenpuss to the north. I'm not sure what was with that. Yeah, it looks like a WTF being called on that as well. I have to agree, WTF. Blue buff stolen. Brand rolling. Actually going up to Will of the Ancients to get some spell vamp as well. Very spell vampy team thus far. Very AP oriented across the board. Rod of Ages. Currently 4 Actraiser. Opposite side, very mage heavy as well, has actually gone for some lifesteal. North lane being pushed heavily. Mumu's there to provide some support. Actually still gone, but a physical, and at this stage I would almost wonder if he's just going to rush some force of nature, something along those lines, being drawn back there. Because this is almost an entirely AP team. You have Lux, who, yes, he has Yomu Ghostblade, but Sheen is more of a magic damage based item. And really... actually, more magic damage. Aurelia has gone more straight physical, yes. But in the meantime, you have Lux, who's AP. You have Brand, who's AP, who's very scary to work with. And you have Maokai, who's also going AP. And is also kind of filling in that tank role simultaneously. And just doing a great job with those nukes. Just little bombs from heaven there. Katarina on the opposite end is now shifting over to kind of a hybrid damage slash AP combination. Sona is trying to work on her ice. Oh. Engagement to the north. Looks like Vlad being caught, trying to pull out of it, but still right on top of the Pope. Move in. Pope still alive. He is going to get picked off here momentarily. But a lot of the army trailing Sona being boxed down, and so it should be actually maybe even a kill trade. Now the 2 to the north being isolated is 4-on-2 here, and a Mumu. Is he going to be able to get out? Nope, stunned right there. Actraiser on top of him, continuing the attack. Gomez trying to move around to provide some support. And just a bad engagement situation, but he is going to be able to hop over. And the Mumu back into the fight. Pulled back around, looking for the ult. There's the ult, doing some damage, and this is going to allow Ezreal to just attack from that corner. Sorry, that's an ensnare, not a stun. I should always be careful about saying that. But Actraiser's still able to get the kill. That is a 4-for-2 situation. The kills are mounting up for the blue team, 23-15. Things not looking good for Team Red. Poppy free farming during that entire time, it looked like as well. Not a good thing. Sona going to push her back just because of, I guess, range and health threat at this stage. And it looks like we are starting to see the surrender votes up. This is a dangerous situation. Down 2 turrets. The other team well fed. You have an Aurelia who's really working it. You have a Poppy who's pretty well fed as well. Sona doing some nice jobs harassing this Poppy back while she's trying to sit back and just feed some kills. Looks like he is feeding kills. And this is kind of a very risky situation. Just going to rely, I assume, rely on the Ghost to sneak out. And still actually not getting anything over the boots and just relying on that Ghost and Poppy's nascent, incredible speed to kind of sneak out of these situations. There's the Banshee's Veil for Mumu. Kind of what I was hoping for, especially in this sort of situation. Brand not looking too shabby himself as a Fiendish Codex, also has Will of the Ancients, and has gotten, this is a very, very AP-oriented team, and very, very successful thus far in doing so. And again, I'm still waiting for that combination attack of a Mumu to warp in, and it's really been completely null. Katarina has been where it needed to really be a huge factor in this match. Is 2-5-1. You have the opposite side mid. Ezreal is doing an okay job, but really hasn't been able to be protected by the tanks to do that pound damage like he wanted to. Actraiser's done a fantastic job in that regard, and Vlad just kind of scampering away as well. It's been denied again. I feel like this Soul Stealer not really working out for him. Bilgewater Cutlass now for Katarina to go more, again, still more mid sort of build AP/AD. This Amumu I worry about. He's surrounded by 4, actually the entire team's right here. There's the stun, there's the hit. The Amumu needs to run for his life. Vlad on the corner, looks like there were some hidden, but a really separated attack. And it looks like Brand going to be able to sneak up and focus whoever he wants, focusing the Vlad down very rapidly. The Amumu mostly being ignored, but now turn around being focused. Pope needs to get out of there. He's taking a lot of damage. That Amumu going to be eaten. That is 3-1. Alio coming up on the corner, popping Sona. Fantastic grouping, and that was a great team fight. 5 alive and 3 dead on the opposite end, and Ezreal out of mana just has to retreat, particularly against these odds. That turret getting crushed. And the hit squad continues. Mid turret does face a bit of a threat here, and let's see if they swing around and take care of that, or if they're just going to continue to press this lane. There are 2 characters, Katarina and Ezreal, to provide some support, lacking a bit in CC on this team thus far. I gotta say, Mumu mostly providing that role. Maokai still and I like that, just throwing some of those bombs along the corner to soften up those minions so they can continue the push on this northern turret. The level advantage significantly in the blue team's favor, 15, 13, 12, 14 to 14, 12, 13, 12, 11, 11, 11, 11, 12, 11. Moving forward, Actraiser diving in, taking out the Sona almost instantaneously, and Sona has just been focused. There's finally an ult from Katarina. Katarina able to do some damage in there, and it looks like Actraiser is going to get picked off, but not before counterslaying. Not before counterslaying Katarina, so Katarina able to get the ult off that time, but dying as a result. Very unfortunate. The Pope stealing the blue buff in the meantime and just farming up. Does have a Sheen of her own. Looks like Lux also taking this opportunity to sneak forward and do some farming in the forest. Jungling. And now a big minion push middle that the other team's going to have to cope with. And it looks like just fantastic team engagements thus far by the blue team. Up 10 kills and things not looking good. Push back 3 turrets. I'm not sure how they can get back in this match, actually. Haunted guys already, as well as Ionian boots. Interesting to get the cooldown reduction. Sona is still pressing forward, but she's just been crushed this entire game. 1-8-4, focused in every single fight, very underleveled, and just extremely soft target. And I wouldn't be surprised if she starts building. She's already got the Negatron cloak, but I wouldn't be surprised if she just starts building nothing but AP items. Somehow they snuck Baron in the meantime. That was a bold move, particularly at this low level. I'm surprised they were actually able to get Baron at this low level. Dragon being taken otherwise. Wow. That shocks me, actually. I'm almost curious how that was accomplished. Anyway, in the meantime, looks like Elio just going to continue to work. Let's see what can happen with Baron buff here. It is going to be... That will even up the teamfight scenario, but I'm not sure how much it's going to provide support in just a flat map control scenario. Actraiser playing very risky to the north, considering the entire team was missing. All she knew all I'm sorry, ActRaiser knew, Maokai knew, is that there was one character to the south. Okay, now it knows that there's 2 middle, but still a very risky situation, particularly with only, interesting pop right there, particularly with only Poppy to provide some support. I guess Poppy is a pretty good support character, though. Moving up, continuing the tank. Ult there, not catching anything. Kind of a null ult, and I think Team Red is having a bit of trouble here. Gathering up, just trying to defend that turret, and again, Maokai has been fantastic. Just tossing those little tree spuds out, and just constantly softening up the forward troops. I really can continue to farm freely up in the north, and just, yeah, getting down that Banshee's Veil, continue to knock this forward, spread out, and this is, yeah, free farm on either corner, while they're still trying to engage on top of this turret. Not a good situation for Team Red. Travis trying to get whatever XP he can. This is where you fall behind. So now that they're finally engaging to the north, they don't have enough stun or CC or speed to catch up and sneak those troops down. That Ghost really being effective. And really, really good troop positioning. Still keeping tabs on them. An ActRaiser, just the golden player here. Sunfire Cape to follow this up to fill in a little bit more of that tank role. Poppy at risk. But keep in mind, Poppy can still Ghost out of this. Mumu trying to engage, try to hold back the tide to the north, but it looks like, yeah, it's still having trouble. And it looks like Poppy and Stalinpuss getting some ideas against this Katarina on this right lane, wanting to make sure that they're not going to be engaged on the corner, but perhaps thinking about going for a dive on Katarina if she pushes out a little bit too far. Aurelia thinking the same thing from the north, wanting to perhaps dive in and pick off one of these warrior characters, specifically Sona. Still very squishy. Taking a look at Sona's on him, she has managed to get a Banshee's Veil, which will help out greatly against this team composition. But still, yeah, the the attacks continue to rain down from Maokai, and he's really been the greatest factor at this stage of the match. Continuing to throw out those just to throw those roots forward, doing a fantastic job of doing so, just forcing this team back. Aria is continuing to form and just knocking those veils down consistently. Looking for opportunity. There's the ult, waiting for Katarina to ult, and there's Katarina's ult, pushing this army back. A lot of damage, and ooh, there was a nice engagement by Team Red, evening things up, and that's the way it should have been going this entire time. 2 deaths, 5 still standing in the opposite corner. And it looks like Ezreal able to wipe out Maokai. There, nice, beautiful play. Now comes the counterattack situation. Keep in mind that was with Baron buff, but much better execution. That is what they were looking for. The push in, the ult, the Katarina follow up, and then the ult straight through from Ezreal to clean up with massive damage. Pushing through the middle. Huge amount of Veils to deal with that AP concentration in the opposite team. And this could be the turnaround point of this match. And Mumu trying to tank these turrets forward, or tank these minions to open up some damage for this turret to be taken out. Pope pressing, maybe overextending. Taking some damage as a result, did manage to dodge a bit of damage there. Ult, but turret is down. But the Pope able to get in, catch iLife once again. Sar's moving around with Vlad. He has been able to get some more damage and farm a bit, and Stalinpuss is at risk. Stalinpuss is dead, evening up, and it looks like the Pope is a little bit low in health. Needs to be careful doing that dodge forward, but that is really a specialty, getting in and out of battle. But Poppy with the chase, and with Poppy in there, it could be a lot of damage. Animus actually sacrificing himself to try to save the kills, but no, it goes forward. Swords taking a lot of damage. Poppy ulting on top of Swords. Swords, oh, getting annihilated. Wow, Animus actually able to swing around and take out Aurelia. So even kills, and it's just a kill fest thus far, but ActRaiser back in it and actually pushing these troops back. Katarina and ActRaiser, as well as Gomez in it, and I think ActRaiser got overextended, and as a result is going to die. Alio also pushing back, does have Cerulli's Reverie at this stage. Bloodthirster on Ezreal going much more, well, actually in a nice AD situation, wants to preserve his life at this stage, stay alive, and it looks like we did see a Riley Scepter there. Ooh, Travis, careful, but Katarina sneaking in, able to get the kill. Still doing a fantastic job of juking. And all of a sudden, the red team within 4 kills on this match. Fantastic play, I have to say. And have pushed the mid turret back to the wall. They're actually up all of a sudden on that mid turret. And a huge minion push to the south should clean this turret up at this location. I'm kind of curious what they're going to be up to. What's their play from this stage on? So, doing a review, looks like Soars He's actually managed to get a couple stacks here and there with Vlad. He hasn't died recently that I've, perhaps I haven't noticed. Katarina with the Riley Scepter, which is actually kind of interesting with that ult. Is a kind of an interesting combination piece there. We can slow and force and missing an attack here. The Pope getting hunted down. No stun to catch. Ult! Oh my goodness, just a sliver of health, getting out with 22 health on the southern field. Looks like Sona is going to be able to clean up this turret otherwise. Let's see if Sona is going to be able to stay alive as a support character to follow things up, though. He's done a really hard job. Has had a really hard job doing so. 197, hopefully that, and I think that Veil really is providing a significant support in that regard. Brand swinging around, now has Morello's Evil Tone to get that mana regeneration as well as the cooldowns, as well as the AP is working towards the hat, I assume Will of the Ancients as well. Big group engagement to the south. Oh, and this looks like a bad situation for Team Blue. Nice engagement, though. It looks like Katarina is going to be taking out Alio, a hero here, with that, with all that support. Actually, I'm sorry, with that Sheen, taking out 2 characters, is falling out and being killed. It's a 2-for-2 situation, and all of that because Alio is actually outnumbered and still pressing forward and doing some fantastic work with that Sheen, and really just farming the north in the meantime. Unbelievable. And really the missing factor in that fight as well. Stalinput might have actually just completely worked the team there. Had that not happened, Ezreal doing a fantastic job of diving in and out, and is doing a lot of damage to this Lux in open field. More minion push on the south. Aurelia trying to get, is actually just going to push straight north. Needs to be careful because there are units incoming. She has a lot of field to work with. Is going to be and force that army back. That was encroaching right on the front door. But a Poppy, 11, 6, and 4, hero of this match thus far, has really isolated that Katarina fantastically. He's done a fantastic job picking off that Maokai with the bombs, the AP bombs. Fantastic job as well. Is tanking very well on top of it. Sona really being kind of the weak link on the red team, having a really hard time, is just 1-9-9, playing like, or must be feeling like I feel a lot of times in League of Legends. It's like, getting crushed. Getting towards the late stages of the game, being pulled back to the middle map here once again. But really a lot of AP build. 286 thus far. Ooh, Aurelia does have that Trinity Force, going to make her a lot more dangerous. The opposite side, 243 for Katarina. 122, I think, is what I saw for Vlad. I actually missed that there were Boots of Mobility, finally, for Alio, which is going to get really interesting, particularly for those pickoff situations, which she's been so incredible at. And, ooh, everyone moving up to take Baron. This has been warded, though. Waiting for the engagement, and this is going to be huge. Maybe they're baiting it, moving into the bush. This bait is going to be spotted, though. Interesting team fight. Katarina sitting to the side. There, trap from the north. Pope being engaged. Nice isolation from Amumu, doing a ton of damage, forcing Aurelia out of the fight, actually able to pick off Aurelia early. Gomez also being picked out, and that was 2 main damage. This could be a great situation. There's Katarina's ult as well, and Blue getting annihilated. Fantastic bait situation. Oh, a lot of that, all of Team Blue completely annihilated there. Sona even chasing down Stalinpuss. Really, the 2 main damage dealers being completely isolated. They can actually switch back around and now take Baron if they want to, which I think they will gather up and do. There's nothing that the blue team can do to stop them. Really nice engagement there and really nice positioning. I have to give credence specifically to that Amumu for the isolation on Aurelia, continuing with the growth pendants. Working down Baron. Vlad with 9 stacks, also has a Warmogs and a regrowth pendant, is looking good as a tank. So much more tanky team at this stage, and this could be a nice, big game switch. Still 2 kills down, both Baron buff, especially Baron buff twice. That could be the switch factor. Almost a pick off, but not quite. There, Baron buff taken. Lux trying to get the steal, not quite able to, though. Team scattering, re-engagement, going to try to maybe pick off there. Definitely going to pick off Sona. Oh, nope, never mind. Turn around, re-engaging. Pope, somewhat vulnerable. There's ult, but no stun to hold her to it. And actually, the team needs to back off. Vlad being a bit too aggressive, does have Blood Pool to sneak out of this. Actually pulling back to home base. They just need to recharge and then turn around. Top turret being pressed. Looks like Maokai is going to take care of it. While the rest of the team presses forward. We do have a Death Cap for Brand. A lot of cooldown, 470 AP. Looking very scary as a spellcaster. Haven't seen a lot of him thus far, especially in these team fights. And really what needs to come down to is in a little bit more tank now. Yeah, did not have a lot of defensive items. Giant Belt finally for Aurelia, and perhaps behind the curve in that regard. Aurelia needs to get a little bit more tanky, perhaps. Poppy is already decently tanky, needs to get perhaps, and she does have the Revelry. and is very fast. Not really the critical unit on the opposite side. It's really Brand and Aurelia that need to be really careful in these engagements. Maokai might want to be a little bit careful as well. I mean, it's just an entirely very dangerous team. Lux starting to press forward. Actually, what are Lux items based on I'm looking at it? She has a death cap as well. Is running a lot of AP. Actually, it's a character I'm looking at. 331 can unleash a lot of damage. Sitting on Baron buff. This is kind of curious. I'm wondering when the Baron buff is going to be utilized at this stage. Looks like thus far they're trying to get a minion push on top lane. Ooh, Bloodthirster. And Ezreal has to be the main target now with all of these Bloodthirsters just accelerating, just really buffing that attack damage. Vlad filling more of an AP tank damage role. Blue buff being stuck on northern corner. There should be a minion push both north and south lane. Let's see how Team Blue responds. And keep in mind, still Baron buff up and running. Guardian Angel on Sona as well, and that's almost by force. It will make her a much more successful support character, though. Force of Nature as well to provide no aid, a lot of strong defense against this very AP-heavy team. Aurelia is trying to sneak around, look for some targets. A big engagement in the middle. Now they're pressing, now that they've got this team spread out, and they might actually be able to dive this turret on this minion push. We'll see if they're going to do so, seeing that it is a 3-on-5 situation. Ult for Lux to clear the minions, to try to dissuade them from pushing that turret. They're now gathering up once again on the second minion push, but we do have a team fight situation on top of the turret. Actraiser there. And it looks like this is going to be enough to just keep them back and keep them building a Baron buff, and they don't really have a lot of pull. They're just going to have to kite their way through this. Moo not in position really to do any pick-off as well. Just waiting for the base fight. Pope still sneaking to the south and looking for a target to take. Now it looks like the minions have equalized to the north and south lanes. Both teams actually backing off and just trying to sneak up. Ooh, nice ult. Clearing a lot of those minions. Ooh, Theramoon be able to catch Actraiser. Actraiser able to cleanse and sneak through. Has Abyssal Scepter to reduce some of that AP defense that all of them have generated with the Banshee Veils as well as the base defense items. Katarina a bit squishy, needs to be careful engaging like this. Nice defense. Oh, and then she's going to get picked off in open field, which is unfortunate. Oh, huge. And now ult right there, but no Katarina follow-up. Ezreal trying to go in and provide some support. They're actually pushing this in a 5 versus 4 situation, and perhaps not the best doing so. Actraiser is going to be picked off, but not. And actually nice. Mumu able to get out of there despite having a little bit of health. Ezreal getting crushed though on the corner. Leo able to just dive in. This is a nice Aurelia cleanup situation. 3 versus 4. No, not a lot of DDs. A ton of stuns. Soar is able to come in and get a pick off a kill though against Aurelia. Nice concentrated fire there. Brand trying to micro, but picked off. Unbelievable. And it looks like the red team actually able to sneak through it. A turret hit, finally killing a Mumu. The kill's almost dead even. Soar is continuing to press in with Sona support on the heels, trying to whittle this turret down as best he can. Having difficulty doing so, and all of a sudden, well, minion pushes on the top and bottom, but aside from that, Soars with some nice hits there in the middle of that fight. Ooh, ult crossed. I don't think it hit either of them. Vlad able to blood pool out of it as well. Still trying to press this forward turret. Sona maybe being a bit overly aggressive here. Barons is down, and it is a four players down, 2 up, but that top turret is being pressed, so that is going to force that army back. And I assume on both ends, and yeah, it looks like Sona is coming back home. So a bit of a reprieve for Team Blue. Things not looking good. This is the problem with such a AP-heavy team. And Aurelia is really is the key character here. Needs to work on attack damage, and she's really the key attack damage person. She's basically the entirety of this team, and she doesn't have an amazing attack damage stack, 175, where you have a much better balance on the opposite side. You have Katarina who can do a ton of just splash AP, and I don't see a lot of anti-AP items on Team Blue. And on top of that, you have Ezreal who can just pound away otherwise and just do a massive amount of damage overall. So it almost feels like Team Blue, although they started off well early, did not follow it up with items that responded to the current composition that might be their demise. We'll see. Still anyone's game. And also keep in mind you do have that Abyssal Scepter, which can make those AP items even more effective. Grouping up, they're going to take Dragon, actually warding it first. Dragon is not up. Slight minion push to the north, a little bit spread out here, starting to concentrate on that south lane. Sona is in the middle, ActRaiser engaging one-on-one, and it looks like, okay, we do have 2 characters up in here. Who knows if there's others supporting or if they're out in the woods, in the jungle, I should say. Looks like they are backing off to the turret here. And really, I think that what's going to be key is the next positioning around Baron. And Sora still has not gone back. Okay, never mind, he has. Just a bit of a LoL replay glitch there. I was about to say, he still hasn't gone back to main, and he still hasn't charged up. Full health team moving up. Quicksilver Sash on Amumu to provide to push through some of those stuns. Vlad moving to the north for some sort of positioning advantage here. Perhaps needs to be with the main team, and Aurelia diving in, doing some nice damage. There's the ult. Or sorry, there's the Q able to grab an ActRaiser separated from the team. Looking for a stun, taking some damage, but able to sneak out, and oh, now Poppy completely exposed. Able to pick off Katarina, which is huge. There's Ezreal's ult. Big ult in the middle from Amumu, catching a lot of those players stunned. The red team very spread out, but Riot Gomez getting picked off at his 2 deaths. Anyone's match, and Pope being picked off as well, and it looks like, never mind, Katarina was alive actually in that match, now getting picked off. Actually calling the wrong character that got picked off in that initial engagement. Brand still alive, so still plenty of damage that can be done over time. ActRaiser also still alive, so it can tank a bit. So it's tank support versus tank AP spellcaster. Keep in mind, Aurelia is very magic resistant, as is Amumu. Top lane now being pressed, and Amumu swinging around should be able to take this turret out without too much trouble. Looks like he is in a nice dodge there actually as well. Brand trying to work away with it, but just too much magic resist. Yeah, that plus the minions need to be careful. Grouping up, being pinned down by Amumu. Nice stun there to escape. And Sona still pressing this middle turret. ActRaiser should send her home though. In the meantime, there is a minion push, it looks like, on that south turret as well. And needs to be careful and do so. I think it was Vlad who was picked off actually initially there on that fight, which surprises me a bit, particularly with that blood pool. And that just shows you, it looks like basically the depiction on the engagement, it's Poppy. If Poppy can run in there, isolate a character, pick them off, turn it into a 4 versus 5 situation, particularly with that ult. And really and actually she has enough just flat attack damage to do so, force them to run rather than engage. And if she can win a heads-up one-on-one fight, particularly just taking Vlad's Soul Stealer stacks out, could be very, very effective. And basically turn the tide of battle, and that'll really be the key here. Otherwise, I still got to favor the red team overall and just flat engagements, warding Baron, not wanting to take it just yet. Almost curious what the red team's up to. It looks like they actually are moving around Baron. Ult across there. I think we are going to see an engagement here. Maokai a bit out of position, as is Poppy, and it looks like both the Pope and Stallenpuss might be slightly out of position. Never mind, they're gathering up, trying to bait Baron here. Well, look, and I assume it looks like both teams staging up. ActRaiser asking if you should initiate. Amumu is on the front, and honestly, if Amumu right there could be dangerous. Looks like Poppy moving up to initiate instead. Still waiting. They're just waiting for that team to go for Baron. So it is a standoff now, which could be the match right here. Whoever wins this engagement. Brand showing himself middle. Ezreal still hanging out right there. Ooh, a flash, and Amumu in, engaging, and it is a 4-on-3 situation. Maokai engaging a lot there and actually able to distract a lot of that army, and Amumu actually pressing forward. Aurelia completely out of that battle, and keep in mind, Aurelia does do a large percent of that damage, so it looks like blue team just going to have to flee and lick their wounds. ActRaiser pinned back, and Amumu, is he going to be able to get the pull? Able to pull, but it looks like there was, in fact, a shield instead. Now Poppy moving in, trying to pick off whoever she can, is working on that Sona. Sona not getting picked off, though. Elio now fleeing for his life, but it looks like Katarina doing plenty of damage, able to take out Aurelia. Ezreal being popped out by that Sheen combination from Elio, and now Elio actually going to just push in and clean up whatever's left. Sona recharging, and there's Katarina's ult once again, not able to get as many kills as you're looking for. ActRaiser has been taken out. Looks like he is 3 down, 2 still standing though, and Poppy, the hero in this match, just trying to flee with what little health she has. Lux getting a stun, and that was a big engagement. Pulling 3 kills ahead, and Elio just superhero in that matchup. That Sheen, I'm sorry, that Trinity Force combo. Just the mix of AP plus damage going in, using the Q, bursting a ton of damage, and then the follow-up hit with Trinity being fantastic. and really pushing a lot of that army out of the field. And also Maokai, with that initial engagement, engaging basically 4 of them. Really, wow. Actually, I want to reiterate where that fight started. Started up here, trailed all the way down here, and somehow blue came out with a slight lead there. Actually taking out 4. I didn't even realize it was 4. Only Vlad left. Still big minion push middle, big minion push south. Up 3 kills. I think we are basically at endgame items at this stage. You have Death Cap, you have Will of the Ancients, Evil Tome, Banshee's Veil, Sork Shoes, and Giant's Belt, which I assume is working towards Warmogs, or something along those lines to get a bit more health on Brand. Brand's actually done a fantastic job of staying out of the fight, of doing some damage and not dying really in these fights. Vlad actually did a fantastic job otherwise, actually, of not... And what surprises me actually is in that engagement, once they healed up, they didn't try to push up and take Baron very cleanly and quickly. I guess they can't do it very rapidly, so they would have ended up in a 5 versus 4 situation, or perhaps a full engagement situation. Actraiser moving up, dropping another ward on Baron. So they can once again try to bait it. Aurelia still farming north. Ezreal moving up that direction, actually being pulled off creeps. Perhaps a counter ward has been placed somewhere in this region. And Maokai, cycling north. Aurelia was caught, taken out. 5-on-4 situation. And Amumu actually just going to box out. And actually Amumu can just sit here. The rest of them can go Baron. And there's not a lot that can be done otherwise. Yeah, and Baron being worked down. This could be the turning point. Brand moving up. Yeah, Amumu just going to continue to box out the rest of the troop. But here comes Poppy diving in. Poppy eating some damage, engaging. There's Katarina's ult, but not in the large grouping. It looks like she is going to get picked off. Really a null ult right there. Poppy escaping. Actraiser absorbing a lot of damage, and Brand actually able to pick off single targets at a time. Doing a fantastic job of doing so. Baron still active. Vlad taken out. Excellent engagement for Team Blue. Amumu still in this fight, trying to chase down Brand. Lux is there. Looks like he was finally shut down. In the meantime, wow, still 2 standing, so Team Blue does in fact win it. They need to turn around and push rapidly. Looks like there was a turret taken out somewhere. 12 o'clock location turret was taken out by minion push. Looks like they're going to turn around. 4 versus 3 in fantastic engagement for Team Blue right there. Kited it beautifully, isolated wonderfully. Katarina, I think, was a big factor in that attack, not ulting essentially on Poppy alone. And you can't do that at this stage of the match, and wow, they're doing so much damage, just single shot in those minion lines. Turret is going to melt, and it looks like this has in fact swung back in Team Blue's favor. Amumu pressing forward, trying to isolate. He's not going to be able to do he's not going to be able to kill these guys. He just doesn't do enough damage to kill them, but he is going to be able to scare them off at the very least and provide some delay time. Still a minion push to the north. Team Red is going to have to stick back in their base. Aurelia checking Dragon. Dragon is there. She is going to take it. Blue buff also being covered by Lux. And Amumu in the meantime just pinned to home base, waiting for teammates to get back up and clear, and basically on minion clearing duty in the meantime. Sona is also back up as well, working on Blasting Wand to provide some more support with those support as a support character. Aurelia has her Warmogs out. That'll provide a little bit more boost and make her even more effective in those kind of engagements. She's been kind of a null factor, and I gotta say it's been Poppy that's been everywhere. Actually working on a BF sword now to make her even more threatening. Lux with an ult across the middle. Soren's re-engaging. It looks like they're going to move back towards Baron. They are going to be spotted on the way by several wards. Those wards have been critical. Ezreal has a huge amount of damage. Looks like he was just checking Baron right there to make sure it was still there. And keep in mind that last death, he lost a large portion of it, but so I take it back. He had some base damage. He's going to have trouble feeding up and powering up those Bloodthirsters at this stage of the match, though. I haven't seen him doing it. It looks like bottom lane being pushed forward. Team Blue waiting for an attack. The Baron ward is gone. This is a dangerous situation for Maokai running up. Looks like they are engaging it. Okay, Ezreal pushing in. He's working on it. Only 176 and actually popping back out. He's very low on attack damage, and he really is a big factor in these fights. That's kind of the danger of Bloodthirsters and deaths, particularly without a Guardian Shield alongside as a pure carry. Aurelia trying to chase down that Sona and just pounding away, able to get that turret. Now working on the Sona. It looks like might be able to catch iLife once again. Charging through the turret to do so. Another engagement in the middle. Oh my goodness, it looks like Soren's going to be picked away by Aelio once again, and Aelio a hero thus far. Sona still surviving along that right corner, really pressing back through, and the Pope was able to pick off Katarina as well. Now it looks like Amumu stuck in the corner. Elio just ulting on Sona, should be able to pick Sona off. You can push up, and it looks like Gomez in a bit of trouble as well. Acrays are chasing him down. Oh, and Animus now getting ulted by everything, trying to ult himself just to sneak out. He's going to die just by burnination there. Ezreal trying to stay alive in the field, and it looks like the Guardian Shield back up. Elio pinning him to the wall. Elio still alive with some support from Lux. Unbelievable. Incredible engagement. 52 versus 44. I expect a GG, actually, in a moment here. Elio pounding away that turret. They should be able to take out this inhibitor as well. And this should be game right here if they press through it effectively enough. I'm still waiting. It looks like really actually moving up the farm. No, actually, never mind. I take it back. They're still going to work around. They got to take some turrets out. They don't have their full team here, and they're not doing a full burst across all these minions. So going to be able to take out 2 inhibitors, have a significant lead. Should be able to turn around, go take Baron after they recharge, because red team is not going to be able to go up and provide any sort of counter harass. Looks like one of the main turrets actually being harassed already. And keep in mind, and Aurelio clearing these lanes is actually going to provide a direct route to the north as well. So completely pinned back. Need to be careful they don't get picked off in the meantime. Brand escaping with Lux. Vlad doing some damage, and again, Katarina without a stun is not going to get a lot accomplished there. Really is still pressing this north lane. Now they can just, back off, immediately go to Baron, and have a lot of success in doing so. And let's see if they in fact do so after they recharge, or if they decide to just press it in, go for the damage. 2-on-1 situation. Aurelia does have some solid escapes to sneak out of this situation. Again, still no stun. So kind of a null threat, particularly with a very mobile force with Aurelia. Now gathering up at Baron. Should be able to deal with it. Amumu pressing forward. Poppy taking the low ground is going to spot, while the rest of the team, well, maybe not. Are they going to bait Baron? Aurelia is actually pulling out of this. Kind of curious on the engagement there, or the decision overall. To perhaps go Baron, then back off. Team pressing forward. Now they have some good minion push options going. They're placing a ward of their own, clearing it, going up. And now the question is are they baiting Baron, or are they legitimately going for Baron? And I assume the former rather than the latter, because I did see a press. And now turning around, engaging Poppy a little bit. Some damage done. Again, a bit of a standoff, but these standoffs going to go huge in Team Blue's favor, because they can just walk right up to the Nexus, which is completely exposed. Yeah, now they're trying to back off. Now that they're back, just running up, going to take Baron unopposed while that Nexus is being pounded away at. Bad situation. I think this is going to be it. I think Blue is going to be able to take the win after some nice, intense back and forth action. As soon as they get Baron buff, just dive in and clear the minion waves, take out that turret, and charge straight through. Poppy already at a forward staging position, wanting to pick off Vlad. Might be, actually a stun pushing in, doing some additional damage. Vlad has an ignite on him, and that ignite, gonna take care of him. Baron buff up. Elio still has plenty of health and will be able to recharge, and a long time for that Vlad to be dead, particularly in this situation. Also, keep in mind losing some of those Soul Stealer stacks, which is gonna cost him at this stage. Maokai trying to get rid of some of those Veils, trying to clear some of these minions. Top turret being pressed, that is down. Pressing in, Katarina trying to ult, being stunned instantaneously, now picked off. It is now a 4-on-3 situation, or sorry, 5-on-3 situation. Ults going off left and right. Sona picked off on top of everything else. Sorry, Sona picked off now. And it is almost a 5-kill. Gomez does get back, but I don't think it is going to be enough. Should be able to press through this turret. Gomez trying to go in and delay as best he can, but he doesn't have enough attack damage to do it. Brand still surviving, and he does in fact have actually went Riley Scepter. Interesting. So straight AP. There the Nexus goes. Team Blue takes it in a fantastic back and forth match. Hope you guys enjoyed it. First League of Legends cast in a while. Thank you for listening.